Hi, I'm Jeremy with Green Acres Nursery and Supply, and today we're talking about how to take care of lavender. So the genus of lavender is Lavandula. There are 47 species of lavender that are known, and they're native from Western Europe, across the Mediterranean into Northern and Eastern Africa, all the way to Southwestern Asia and India. So there are a lot of different varieties. Lavender makes a great landscaping shrub. It's drought tolerant. It's a great pollinator for bees and other insects. And of course, it's great for harvesting flowers for arrangements, potpourri, and a few species are edible as well. So it's a very useful plant to have in your landscape. So we carry a lot of different lavender species and varieties here at Green Acres. Four of the most popular would be the Hidcote. It's a dwarf variety. It's great for dried flowers. The Munstead is great in containers. It has very fragrant blooms, often used in like potpourris and satchels. The Grosso is a really hardy variety. It does really well in the Northwest. And it's great for oils, for extracting oils, for flavors and for scents. And the Provence is a great culinary variety too. Both the leaves and the flowers are used in cooking. All species of lavender plants do really well in drought-tolerant conditions and in the sun. It's a very drought-tolerant shrub. 4 to 6 hours of direct sun here in the Sacramento Valley you might call ideal. Although it can handle more sun if need be, but a little bit of shady protection in the afternoons here is usually beneficial for a lavender shrub. Very drought tolerant, as I said. They like a well-draining soil with organic matter, but the key is that the soil is well-draining. Lavender can sometimes drown if given too much water or if the soil doesn't drain well enough, so keep that in mind. So as far as watering lavender goes, as I said, it's very drought tolerant and needs well-draining soil for sure. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is overwatering lavender. It does need supplemental water if you want a larger shrub with some more blooms. So giving it more water is a good idea if you want a really showy bush, but if you cut back on that water, the bush can survive in a drought tolerant situation for sure. Lavender shrubs don't need a whole lot of feeding. In the beginning of the spring, when it's growing season, giving it maybe a thin layer of compost on the surface of the soil to water in, or some organic slow-release fertilizer is a good idea, but it just needs it once at the beginning of the season. An interesting fact about lavender is that the essential oils in the leaves are where all of the scent comes from. So if you give it too much leafy growth, all of that essential oil gets spread out among the plant and it's less fragrant. So the less you fertilize it, the less leafy growth there is and the more concentrated the oils are in the leaves, giving it a stronger fragrance. So as far as pruning your lavender bush goes, as far as blooms, it's good to prune the blooms as soon as they're spent or as soon as they're nice and full. Prune those blooms immediately and you'll encourage a rebloom during the blooming season. So don't be afraid to cut those flowers off to get more blooms after. And to prevent woody growth on the center of your bush and to keep it a nice size, at the end of the winter, it's usually a good idea to do a shaping prune of the shrub. So when pruning off your blooms, it's a good idea to cut the stem all the way back to a leafy bud. So if this is your flower here, I'm going to bring it all the way back, cut it just above the leafy bud there to help promote new leafy growth and new flower growth here from the bud. Try to avoid cutting the stem in the center because leaving dead woody stems is not good for the shrub. So a couple things that we talk about with customers quite a bit, some frequently asked questions, when to prune the flowers during the day. And it's a good idea to prune the flowers in the morning. One of the ways that lavender in the warm months cools itself is by releasing those oils, and as the wind blows across the oils on the plant cools itself. So those oils are released and then they're less concentrated in the shrub itself. So when you prune the flowers in the morning, you're capturing the oils that haven't been expended as the heat of the day comes on. So definitely prune your flowers in the morning to get like a stronger scent for bouquets and that sort of thing. Also, people come to us asking about why there are yellowing spots and sometimes kind of wilting spots on the sides of their shrubs. Lavender prefers, like a lot of shrubs, lavender prefers to be watered at the base of the plant, not top watered by a sprinkler. So if you can prevent that, it's good. Oftentimes watering with a sprinkler will cause part of the shrub to kind of die back, and then people wonder, why is half of my lavender shrub looking kind of droopy or kind of yellow and the rest looks nice? Oftentimes that has to do with kind of not realizing that, like your lawn sprinklers or some other sprinklers just spraying across the side of your shrub and wilting the leaves. So try to keep it watered at the base and keep the rest of the shrub dry. So thank you for listening. We hope this was useful information. If you'd like to see more videos like this, subscribe to our channel. And if you have more questions, feel free to come on down to one of our nurseries and ask us some questions.